Hello, welcome to Science Explorers, and we're going to have a blast today. We are working with the details of how we launched our rockets for our rocket camp. And to go over that, we are putting together links for you so that you can see how to assemble the rockets, how to assemble the launch pad. There's just a couple caveats that I want to go over that, in a perfect world, things are seamless, but it's not always a perfect world. So the one thing I wanted to point out is when you put together your launch pad, you are working with two little pieces of metal that need to go together, but it's really, really hard to put them together. So what you do is you can literally tap them on concrete hard floor, a desk, some kind of, this is like PVC, not great. But if you can get a solid table or solid ground and just tap it, and it comes together. If you don't get it all the way together, which is a possibility, I put a piece of duct tape right here because when we launch the rocket and we put it on, it will keep it from getting like a hiccup right here during the launch. Okay, so that is one caveat. Another caveat is please use the heat shield because there's a lot of thrust that comes out. These rockets are going 75 miles an hour, 350 feet in the air. They are a projectile. Safety is paramount. You want the children behind you at a safe distance. I would say 12 feet would be great. If I'm launching in a baseball field and if there's a backstop, I put them behind the backstop. If there are bleachers, try to put them on bleachers. I invite the parents, make a big deal out of it. This is really cool. The parents are always amazed. The kids are amazed. Parents are blown away that their children were able to construct a rocket. Nobody does rocket building anymore. Very few people. So this is very cool. Now, these are the A3 engines that we are going to be using. These do not go home with the children if they are not spent. They can take home, after the rocket launch, they can take it home. But if they are live ammunition, so to speak, we do not send them home. We don't give them an extra one to take home because it's a projectile. So when you have the kids arriving for the launch, I always set up all the engines. So what I do is, this is the ignition wire. You put it in the hole. You can see where the solid rocket fuel is. And you have these little yellow posts. And you put it in like that. Okay? Now, it goes in the bottom of the rocket. So when you put it in, you want to put it away. This is the launch lug right here. So what you want to do is you want to put it away, the metal feet away from the launch lug. Sometimes it doesn't happen. I'm just going to move it. But what happens is it will short out, or not short out, sometimes it shorts out, but it won't launch if it's touching metal. So we have the launcher, okay? Mission control, I have the kids sit down crisscross applesauce flat on their bottoms. When they sit down, because if they pull this or push, we do not want one of these falling over and going up somebody's nose. So again, these are projectiles. This is pretty serious business. When I check my launcher to see if the batteries need to be replaced or anything like that, what I do is I click the alligator clips together. This gives a complete circuit. And it was advised that we use alkaline batteries. And in order to launch, you have to put the safety key in. This is called the safety key, and the kids have to push it down. You see, we are loaded and ready to launch. So if you get this on here and you have it all hooked up and it doesn't launch for some reason. The kids push and push and push, doesn't launch because they have to actually push this and this in order to launch it. Now, if for some reason it doesn't launch, please have them pull the safety key out before you go up to check on this. Even after they launch the rocket and it's way off in the wild blue yonder, have them pull out the safety key. I usually, in the classroom before the launch, I show the kids how the solid rocket fuel is ignited, because at NASA, they have both liquid and solid rocket fuels. So before they do the launch, they warm up the liquid fuel, getting ready for the launch, but they can't hit the solid rocket fuel until liftoff because there's no turning back. So I usually have one of the kids hold this. And I have an assistant here named Dr. Evan. Dr. Evan, can you come up and hold this for us, please? And so this gives the kids a really good visual. Okay, so we're working with a circuit, and the circuit's like a circle. And so in order for our rocket to launch, the circuit has to be complete. It will be, that ignition wire will be in our solid rocket fuel, and the kids, okay, you are loaded and ready to go. So what happens is we start with a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have the kids push and hold. So you can see that little flame, that little puff of smoke. That is what launches our solid rocket fuel. So that is why we don't send them home with solid rocket fuel to discover on their own. So they can buy kits at Belleville Hobbies is who we buy from. I would love to give him the business, but hobby shops, things like that. So in the event that your kid comes up to you, one of your campers comes up, and this launch lug is missing, what I do is, if you look in your handy dandy kit with your fire extinguisher and everything you need for launching, I just put a straw, cut a straw in half, put a straw right along one of the fins, and duct tape it on there. And that gives you a handy dandy impromptu launch lug. If it's not working, you try to launch it, it's not launching. Sometimes it's just a bad, sometimes this will spark, but it will not spark the solid rocket fuel. There's just a lot of scenarios, and after 20-some years, it's been every situation. So you can just, because you have all these parents like waiting, stuff like that, pull it out, put a new one in. We'll figure it out later, put a new engine in. Sometimes the engine gets stuck. So that's why you have needle nose pliers, because you can then use the needle nose pliers to get them out. You want to, when you are loading this up, you want to make sure you check the nose cone, because we had one creative little guy, he glued it on. Wasn't that clever? And so it goes up, 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 and I was like, why isn't it like, because the nose cone blows out and the parachute comes out, and there's recovery wadding in there, which is flame proof. It looks like toilet paper, but then it comes floating down using drag with our parachute. But this cute little camper decided it would be really fun to glue the nose cone on, and then we had a giant lawn dart coming down to the ground. And so it's amazing what these little guys can think of. So when I am checking the rockets, we're going to be putting baby powder in there for like humid days so that this opens. Definitely not critical, but if you'd like to, you can have them put baby powder in there. Just gives it a, so it doesn't like sweat out. But there's a lot of pressure, as I said, because it's going to blow as it goes up in the air. It's going to blow this out, and also will blow out the recovery wadding. So after the launch, I also have the kids do a recon mission, be good Earth guards, and police the area and see who can pick up the most trash. What else? Sometimes these get burnt, like melted, and just like a battle scar, but it goes, oh, that's really cool. That's, make a positive. If you find that your kids do not tie all of the shrouds onto here, with a piece of tape, just adjust and modify as needed. We are here to answer any questions, and the idea is make it fun, have a blast, and make sure you smile, make it fun. It is a lot of fun. There's no way you're launching 15 rockets. What's not fun? So please be kind to each other. We're going to be doing a sample launch with this one, and tune in. You can see it. Thanks. Bye.
Hello, Science Explorers. We are at launch day, and what we're going to look at is we want to check to make sure that the launch lugs are secure. If they are not secure, if they're wiggly, just get one of the straws out of the bag, cut them in half. You don't have to cut them in half, but cut it in half and put a duct tape around it, and that gives you your launch lug. Okay? So again, these things are going 75 miles an hour, 350 feet in the air at least. So please be safe. Careful, be safe. So what we do is, I always have the kids come out and do this, but I help them, and I have them put it on the launch pad. You see that we put a piece of duct tape on here. It helps with the thrust. It still will get like black on the flash pan, but it just gives it a little bit of a push. That way I've had them fall over and explode on the launch pad. It's not always good. So you are going to have your fire extinguisher handy, because you just never know. Along with the recovery wadding, which is flame resistant, but sometimes they smolder a little bit, and you just stomp on them, make them go out, and you have to go out to extinguish them. What you need to do is you need to hook these onto the ignition wires and make sure that they're not touching each other. It will prohibit the circuit from being a circuit because circuit, think of circle, needs to have this like that. Okay, now you can see we're having a little problem with our launch lug. Well, just like in real life, we had our first adjust and modify moment. We had a launch lug that was, the glue was giving way. So we just used a piece of duct tape. You can use a straw, or you can just duct tape right over this. Just make sure it's secure. And then I have the wires hooked together over here. The ignition wires, you can see they're not touching. And what will happen if they're not touching is then when the child puts in the, I think you did a light. You can see that the light's lit, you are armed and dangerous. Okay? Now you also want to check the wind. We have absolutely no wind here today, so we can pretty much put it up. And again, you want to have the parents and the children away from the launch. Okay? So if this is a child launching, this thing stretches about 18 feet or so. And I would have them sit down crisscross applesauce, flat on the bottom, because we don't want them to this back and forth. Okay? You not want any going. Okay. So when the children are armed and dangerous, just like this, you do a countdown. Now everybody in the crowd, get them all involved. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you have them push it and hold it. Don't do this, because what happens is it sends mixed messages down our circuit. So you push and hold. So they have to push the launch lug, keep the launch lug, or the safety key pushed down, and they have to push. Okay? And then keep up. Okay? We're going to launch. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.